Alright, so as you can see, we're playing with a new format on videos, I think, where we just fire up something interesting. I'm going to do away with maybe the intro of like, hey, this is Red Specs Gaming. You guys kind of know who this is when you come in. Let me know what you think of the new format. We're going to try and just get right into it. So today's episode, I'm going to do this. We're going to show you guys the base, because it's all painted inside there. The outside still needs to be painted, but the inside's all painted. Looks really good. And then we're probably going to jump into getting, I'm going to run and get the dart so that we have a flying vehicle, and we'll spawn in our lumber bike from the first episode of this series and start using that. So come on down, let me show you what we've built here. So elevator shaft the way I normally do it with these. These I couldn't paint, but you'll see why in a minute. And we put up guns just in case anything comes down. We've got sentry guns on either side. You go either way, you get 2 sentry guns. So either direction. And when you come out, you come into the receiving area. And that's kind of what I'm considering the central thing that we built. This is the receiving area. And we're going to have wings that go out from the sides, different modules on each side, on the 4 different sides. So I kind of wanted to go with something kind of Subnautica looking since we were under the water. So like white walls, blue floor, and these edgings were prime for a little texture, so we went with like this. So it's not quite a pyramid, but it's not quite a dome either. Kind of something between. I thought it came out pretty well. Obviously we've got to get all of this stuff, all these devices out of here, but as soon as we have the different wings, we can move them out to the different wings. So for right now they're in here. But yeah, so we've got all our storage up here. And gets it up and out of the way. It's a good spot for it, I thought. And then of course we've got some other things here, like our output boxes and our ammo boxes and whatnot will be here on the edges. I'm probably going to put one of those on each of these edges for different uses once I get all these devices moved out of here. But we got glass where we can see out of. You can see the towers there. You can see, don't worry, look at that. That's for a different episode. But you can see out that way. Don't look at that. You can see our water all the way out there, which is really cool. And I'm going to eventually get some lights out there, so we've got kind of like a spotlight into the murky water situation. So yeah, I thought it came out really well. Tell me what you guys think. I'm really happy with the way this looked. We're going to paint the outside too. If you guys want, eventually I'll blueprint this if you want to get your hands on it and kind of take a look at how I did it. These, by the way, I kind of went with something that looks like maybe loading runners or something. If you were taking cargo in and out of these things. But really what this is these are just little pieces that support all of this, because we've got these kind of, you know, corridor walls, and then you've got this half slab, and then directly below it there was nothing, but this was kind of helping support some of this. So if we look at N real quick, you can see it's nice and bright green the way I like it. Some of these parts aren't so great here and here and here, but that's okay. What I did is I built from the top down, and so I would add a layer and I would see what needed to be supported, and we figured out how that was going to happen. Add out, and built down until it all connected down to the floor that we're on here. So came out pretty good. Alright, so I think what we're going to do next is I'm going to run and get the dart, bring it back, we're going to build it up, and then after that we'll probably get the hover bike, or the lumber bike. That's what we called it. The lumber bike spawned in. So let's go do that. Alright, we're back at home. Got the dart home. Good to go. We need... That's weird. That's in a weird spot. So we need to remove that. Let me pop that block off if I can. Retrieve that block there. And then let's salvage this block. Let me go into this guy here. Actually, we need to probably move. There's copper in there. What the heck did we run out of then that we couldn't make this? I'm confused. Let's look in the dart. Look in that cargo box. Let's move that to the raw materials. That's all that stuff we got while we were out. Look in the fridge. Move all of that. Raw materials again. I think that's where I've been keeping that. Yeah, okay. And now if we look in, not there, we look here. go into the large constructor, we should be able to make... I'm confused why we couldn't make this. I wonder what we were missing. Because it looks like we've got plenty of iron, plenty of copper, plenty of silicon. What are we missing that it can't make? What does a motor require? That is what I need to know. A motor requires what? Steel plates. Got that. Nanotubules. I'm pretty sure we can make those. And electronics. Nanotubules are made with what? Let's see. Electronics is copper and silicon. We've got that. That shouldn't be a problem. Where are nanotubules, guys? I'm missing it. Right there. Nanotubules. Carbon substrate. Is that it? Because we didn't have any rock in there? Bet you that's why we need crushed rock. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So we can take this out and put it in. For now, let's just take some of that and toss it in here. And then what we should do is we should go into the raw material. The small constructor. And tell him to craft from raw materials 2 crafting components, which he's already set to. And make carbon substrate, which is made with what? Plant fibers and stone dust. Okay, so we need some more plant fibers too. So if we go F4, take some of these plant fibers out, stick them in there. Go back into the devices, open this guy up, have him just start making a bunch of carbon substrate. So we'll just make me 100. That works. That's an output of what? That would need 400. Make it 50. How about that? That's output of 20, so we'll have plenty of carbon substrate after that. Alright, that said, we should now be able to go into the large constructor and make another one of these boosters, or the jets. Where is it? I want to make the medium one. I know that. I'm going to need that. And I'm actually going to make 2 of these, because we're going to put these in the downward position, because I want this. This is going to become like the heavy material lifting ship is what we're going to do. So I'll be back in just a moment once some things are done, and we'll continue on. Alright, so since this is going to be simply a cargo hauler, what I've done first off is I cleaned it off, got rid of all the paint, all the symbols, everything, cleaned out any of the broken, crappy blocks, and kind of got it to a spot that's the same everywhere. And now we're going to go into here, and I've got 3 of these guys. And we're going to have 2 aimed down, because I want this to have the lift. It needs the lift to get up and go, right? So, we're going to find a spot in here, probably right there. I want to flip it downward like that. Where do I want to place it? I'll need a spot for it. Maybe what we'll do is we'll take these out. Right here. Retrieve these blocks here and here. And then we can put these right next to it. Let's make sure. I don't want that sticking out too far down, basically. So that's 1 block down. Maybe here? How am I losing contact with my drone? I'm like right here. How did that happen? Oh, you know what? My character must have run off into the... Now that happened. That's weird. How is he way over there? I thought when I had the drone active he wasn't moving. Ah, that might be a thing we need to look into. Alright. Let's try that again. So he is there. Where did I put it? There and there. Okay. So we've got those in there. So that should give him some really good lift. And now we're going to rotate this guy. And put him back here. So that should give me thrust, forward thrust. Nice. Now we can start dropping in storage containers. And then we're going to have a whole lot of storage containers on this guy, I think. In fact, Yeah, because they're going to go all the way up here. They're going to come over this, drop down in. It's going to be storage central up in here. So I'm going to make a bunch of those. Looks like he just ran out of fuel. He'll sit there until we mess with him. So let me make a bunch of storage containers and we'll be back. Alright, so we've placed cargo containers all over the place on this guy. We placed a CPU extender underneath this block in there. So he's got like, what's he got? He's got 1500 CPU now. We've got the remote device there so we can get remote device. He's got his 2 big thrusters up and 1 big thruster back. So yeah, he's pretty good. Not bad, not bad. Ready to go. Probably can go ahead and maybe make weapons for this eventually, but right now I just want to get materials. So we're gonna paint this real quick, and then we're gonna head out and get. We need silicon, we need copper, we need all those things. So let me see what I can do with that real quick, and I'll be back. Always wants to drift in weird directions, I've noticed, when vehicles get full. This isn't too bad. I can still maneuver just fine. So nice. Alright, I'm going to run this back, come back, get the rest of the iron, and then we're going to go exploring a little bit. Catch up with you in a minute. So one thing that I did in the previous stuff that I threw away that you guys didn't get to see was spawn in my other hover vehicle. And one thing I also did was updated it to be 1 big container. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy. We're connected to blocks right now. And I am going to retrieve blocks on this guy, and I'm just going to melt this down completely here. We're just going to get everything out of this guy. Take it all with us. I don't know what that was that we just dropped. I better go check. And then we will continue on. So let me get this broken down completely, and I'll be back. Make sure you always take the core out last, otherwise you will lose components. You won't get blocks and you'll lose components. So the core is the last thing you take out. Alright, now what we can do is we can go in here. We can see these are all the parts that we got out of that guy. Let's go ahead into my crafting components and get rid of the excess stuff that are components. All of these type things that are not actually blocks, but rather they are components. All that's in there now, yeah. Alright, and then I'm also going to unload some things out of me. I've got one that I call concrete because I was storing concrete in there, but honestly it's my equipment, so we'll do it that way. Keeping that. I'm just gonna unload these here for now until we get to that point. Extra armor. You go there and you go there. That's good. Okay, now what we can do is we go into our factory. Alright, go into the factory. You choose what you want to spawn. So we're gonna do the lumber bike. And we're going to send that to the factory. And it wants you to put in copper, carbon substrate, silicon, iron, neodymium, titanium rods, and cobalt ingots. Okay? So what you can do instead is you can take these things that you know were part of it, like that, these hover engines, and the container extensions. And we're going to hold on to the small constructor because I don't think I had a small constructor on that. Docking pads, generator, hover booster. What else? These guys. Container controller. And we're going to feed these into the factory instead. And that will actually lower the amount of time it takes to spawn this because when it tells you that it's going to take 20 minutes to create this, it's taking into account the time that it would take See, that just gave you 7 iron ingots out of that. There's a bunch of that. There's a bunch of that. That. Well, we're just going to feed all this into it, and then we only have to put in what we need to make up the difference. And you notice this has already brought our time down from 20 minutes to 13 minutes. Okay. Anything else? Take you, probably. And you. Some of this stuff we just had anyways. The fridge. Yeah, okay. The rest of this we'll hang on to. So we go back into our factory again. And feed these in there, and then we'll make up the difference here. So we need, let's do 5 neodymium, 2 titanium rods, and 2 cobalt ingots first off. So if we go into the, let's see what we have actually in our crafting components. We got some neodymium, we needed 5. We needed a cobalt ingot, we probably need to make another one of those. We needed, what else did it say that we needed? You said we needed those 5. 2 cobalt ingots, so we need 1 more cobalt ingot and 2 titanium rods. So if we go back to this, we don't have any titanium rods that I know of, but we can craft them. I think, let me look at my raw ingredients just to make sure. Yeah, no. Okay, so we need 1 more cobalt. And we need 2 titanium ingots. So if we go into the P, go into our large constructor. Actually, we'll go into the small constructor. He makes raw. Small constructor. And we need 1 more cobalt ingot. And he's going to put that in crafting components. And we need 2 titanium rods. That's an output count of 10, so actually those 2 should be fine. Alright. Go back into this menu for the crafting components. Take another cobalt ingot and take some titanium rods. And let's go ahead and get some iron ingots out, some copper ingots out, and some silicon ingots out to make up the difference. And I think maybe some carbon substrate. Now we go back into the factory again. And we say, how many titanium rods? 1, 2. Leave the rest over here. 1 more cobalt ingot. There we go. Carbon substrate, we needed like 80, I think. We're just going to keep halving this. There's 60. We need like 15 more maybe. 16 more. There we go. There's all our carbon substrate. We need copper, needs what, like 124 maybe copper? We'll just feed this in until it hits 180. That's good. And silicon needs like same amount, like 122 or something. Start with 120. That was over. And then iron needed something like, I don't know, like 80. I'm not good at the quick math, guys. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but there you go. Start production, 13 minutes. That'll be ready to print. So that's cool. Let's take the rest of this and put it away real quick. Back up in where it goes. Boom, boom, and boom. And then we'll have a lumber bike in no time. And in the meantime, we'll go exploring. So, out with the old, in with the even older, I guess. Alright. So at the moment, we're just flying around the planet here. I'm uncovering all of this fog of war everywhere. And there's a couple of things over there, minigun drones, over top of some of these POIs that we're probably going to have to deal with. Because they're messing with our allies. And we don't take to that kind of nonsense. So we will run home and add something onto this vehicle. So I'll catch you at the house. Hey, our blueprint successfully printed. We get home, we can spawn that in. Very cool. Okay, so... Oh, it's acid rain. Gotta get underground. Heavy acid rain. Underground we go. Alright. Let's look at what our attack situation is. Less than 1 day. What we can do is we can come out here. And we can... I wonder if we'll get hit here under the water. I wonder if that counts. You go into your factory. Right here you'll see you're completed at the top. If you select that and you hit spawn, then you get an option where to put it. And we can put it right here. It'll float up. Up, up, up you go. And we can get us some fuel out of the base. Fuel. Go ahead and take these. And let's go up here to the lumber bike. Hop inside it. You guys remember the lumber bike? We changed all this out for containers. So this guy has got tons of stuff. Tons of storage now. Actually, I think I might still get hit by this heavy rain, heavy acid rain in this open cockpit. Yep. Yep. Okay, so we'll wait for that to pass. Let's wait for that to pass. And in the meantime, let's go back inside. And we're going to unlock on the small vessel some weaponry. We can do the Gatling gun. We can do the rocket launcher. Rocket launcher homing. The rail gun. I don't know if we can make the rail gun yet, though. Let's find out. Can we make the rail gun? We can, but we're going to need Zascosium alloy and power coils, so we're not quite there yet. So we're going to stick with the Gatling. We're going to make 2 of them. And they use 15mm bullets. And those are output count 10, so let's make 1,000 of these. Right? And then we need to also make a ammo thing for this. So we might need to unlock that. So if we go into the EDA or the skills, container controller ammo. So let's unlock that. And then make one of those. Next step is to make one. So if we go ammo, bam, make one of those. We'll let that roll out, and I'll be back when all that's done. Alright. Now we gotta figure out where we put these, and I'm thinking that we mount them under the wings, maybe. So let's go remove these lights right here, these little layers. We can pop those off. Dang it, that's not what I meant to take off. Alright, well, give me back that. We took out that long wedge, so let's put that back. Where are you, long wedge? This. Rotate around. Put you back. Repaint. I'm a stickler. What can I say? La la la. That can go on the underside of you. And you're using this and black and a symbol. This guy here. Yes, yes. There we go. Alright, now. We're gonna put our Gatling guns on the bottom of the wings, like that. And like that. Yes, now we gotta figure out where we're putting this ammo thing, and I guess we could do it here. We could just put it here for now, because we're still not really going to be heavy fighting in this, but we can drone hunt with it. So drones are easy to hunt in a ship, so we'll just put that there for now. Okay, just for the time being, and I'll take these little bits at a time. How much do you hold? You hold 125, so that's actually gonna suck. So we'll see. Oh no, wait, I put that in the wrong side. Dang it. You go in there. You go back to the base. Output. Let's see how much this can hold. It can hold it all. Okay. As long as it can hold 1,000, I'm happy with that. Alright, so he's ready to go for fighting. And now the next thing, now that it's stopped raining, is let's take this down real quick. Go over here. Turn him off. And now we can go into the lumber bike. Go into his... How much power? He didn't have that much power. Go into his main. And player. Fill him up. It's 53%. And now let's take this guy out. I want to get a bunch of wood real fast. And see if he can get above the water. Does he have... I wonder if I even put a hover booster on him. Let's take a look. I maybe never put a hover booster on him. Oh, he's got a hover booster. Yeah, okay. He's just not coming out of the water easy. Let's see if we can get up. Not really working. Well, we'll go this way. Get out of the water this way. We're gonna get a whole bunch of wood and bring it back to base, and that way I can get fuel going again, because having to do it by hand has been a pain in the butt. So let me do that and we'll return. Alright, I'm back after a few moments there. As it turns out, I had to rebuild the lumber bike in creative from the ground up because it was not... I could not get it for the life of me to rotate. It felt like it was stuck in rotation mode. Like if you do Shift O, you can lock the rotation. If you have a drill, you had to have a drill, but it was like stuck in rotation mode or something. Therefore, it wouldn't rotate, like at all. I couldn't get it to rotate no matter what. I took blocks off of it, replaced them, just it would not rotate. So I think it was a glitch between previous alphas and the current alpha. So I went into creative, as you can see, and I recreated it from the ground up. It's basically the same. It's got all the same stuff on it that it had before. Things might not be in the exact same spot that they used to be, but that's okay. And so this is the lumber bike, the new and improved 2.0 lumber bike. But at least it rotates now again, so that's good. And so we're going to go up here. We're going to get a bunch of wood here and take that back and get fuel going. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back. Alright, back at base. Got like 350 wood with the bike, and I'm just splitting it up here in our emergency constructors right outside of base, and we'll just keep crafting fuel this way so we don't have to use fuel to make fuel. There we go. Now let's see what our attack situation looks like soon. Okay, let's go make sure we have ammo and we're prepared for this attack, and I'll bring you guys back when the attack comes. Enemies coming in. Alright, let me group these real quick. Yes, sentry guns should all be loaded. Let me make sure. Under turrets. You can't access those. Oh, you can. Okay. Reload this. Go back out. Why am I indoors? I don't want to be indoors. I want to be in sentry guns. Reload this. Alright, I think they're all loaded. I think they're good. Alright, now let's go upstairs and join the fight. My guns are loaded. I'm not sure what's coming in this time. Let's see, which direction? North. The troop transport. Here they come. I don't think they're gonna make it. I don't think they're gonna make it. It's pretty tough. They didn't make it. Down they go. Let's go loot them. And then we will move on to the next thing. They didn't make it. Wonder where they thought they were going to land. Water base may be the most ingenious and cheesy thing ever. Oh, we got a minigun. That's nice because we've got minigun rounds now. Cool. Alright. Let's move on. So yeah, I think that's a good stopping point. Hope you guys enjoyed that episode. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button down there. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more like this, hit the subscribe button up there. That way you get notified. I think you have to ring the bell too. I'm not sure how YouTube works. But that way you get notified when I drop a new video. And until the next episode, I hope you guys have a safe and great rest of your day. I'll talk to you later. Bye now.